think in any area of life, oftentimes what got you here isn't what's going to get you there. And I think seminary education, Christian education, church ministry, all have to be saying, what are we willing to do next to make sure that we're really going to keep the church in a healthy place in our culture. And in a world that is pushing Christianity more and more to the margins, the church equipping world needs to be at the front end of what do we do about that.
Deploy began when the seminary faculty at Grace sat around looking at each other and saying, you know what, something's not right. That led to a real investigation about how should ministry take place today? What should training look like?
It was more and more difficult to ask students to leave their local church setting and go away to school for however many years with the hope that sometime they'd be prepared and ready for local church ministry again.
That led this faculty to consult 100 pastors, church leaders around the United States to ask them, what should an academic program for seminary look like?
So they said, hey, from the local church side, if you could kind of go in the lab and create from scratch what seminary would produce, what would it look like?
We were very excited when Grace Seminary invited us into a conversation to talk about theological education and how to make it better, how to wed the academic with its rigor along with the practical, to see them come together. And what came from that was a church-based seminary education that's fully accredited.
And beyond that, the layer of mentoring, where we're pairing students with godly mentors in 3 key areas, to me is really important, because I believe God has always used relationships and the gospel and scriptures as a vehicle to see lives transformed.
So as a pastor, to be able to have some of your brightest, strongest, most quality leaders still in your ministry, where you're training them from one side and then they're getting theologically trained from the other side, that feels like a win all the way around.
The reason why I like Deploy as compared to a traditional classroom setting is because it allows me to continue doing ministry at my local church. I don't have to disrupt that schedule.
It's very self-paced and very flexible with my schedule. So I am able to enroll in as many competencies as I want at a time.
It's all online. It allows me to work at my own pace. I can work as fast or as slow as I need to based on the ministry load that I take on.
The affordability of the Deploy program is something I was very drawn to. Grace Seminary has done a really phenomenal job making sure that I'm not graduating with debt.
While the curriculum itself is all online, much of the experience and the taking it in and digesting it all actually happens through one-on-one conversation in your mentorships, as well as in your ministry while you're still involved in the church.
The mentorship part of this program is probably the most helpful, beneficial, and applicable part. When you're in ministry and in leadership, it's easy to always pour into other people, but Deploy makes sure that there are people pouring into me.
We all want godly leaders. We all want leaders who are becoming more like Jesus on the inside and on the outside. We all want leaders that are growing in the competencies that Jesus had. Grace has provided us with that opportunity, that important theological piece in the leadership development process that's allowing us to see leaders developed and multiplied, realized here in our local church context.
Through our partnership, we let you do the ministry training. We provide the theological excellence, and together we make a great team.